morning. It's great to be gathered together with a fellowship of believers. But I'm not like you. I'm a Pharisee. Have you heard of it? You may have read about this in your text. I'm a Pharisee. As Pharisees, we are known for upholding the law. We hold tightly to the law of Moses, and it's important for us to make sure that we hold firmly to this teaching, but also that we expect you. Anyone who claims to love God must hold on to these teachings, not just the written Torah, not just the temple rules, but also what we pass down through tradition. That if you are not to uphold these, then you're not a true Israelite. And these teachings are important. These teachings are valuable. But I'm here to tell you about a time when these teachings were in jeopardy. A time where our teachings were being threatened by a rabbi, if you could call him that. His name was Yeshua. He was new into the temple. His name was Yeshua. You might know him as Jesus. He was teaching some preposterous things. He was teaching that if you were truly to love God, that the most important command was to love Him with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, not to follow all the laws that we hold so firmly to. He was also ministering to Samaritans. Ministering to them. And he gathered these followers, these unworthy, unschooled individuals, fishermen, tax collectors, zealots. Those were his followers. Those were his disciples. He was not a true rabbi, but he was gathering a followers. So me and my fellow Pharisees decided that we need to set a trap. This is the story of the day that I almost committed murder. Twice. See, we decided to set a trap for this Yeshua, this Jesus. No more could he teach these things. No more could he gather these followers. No more could he do these healings on the Sabbath day, a day of rest. No more. So we came up with a plan to trap him. We would want to stop him in his tracks. We knew of a man by the name of Mishael, who was known for being less than faithful, you could say, with his wife. And he was known for different romantic trips around Jerusalem. So some of our Pharisees followed Mishael. And we found him caught in the act committing adultery. And so, of course, we grabbed the woman that he was committing adultery with, and we brought her into the temple. And we threw her down. And Jesus was teaching there. I don't know who gave him the authority to do that, but he was teaching. And we threw this woman in front of him, in front of the crowd, in front of the Gentiles. And we said, she was caught in adultery. She must die. Our law requires, the law of Moses requires that anyone caught in adultery must die. Here is this woman caught. It was a perfect time. Because Jesus was stuck. He had two options. He could either decide that, yes, this woman indeed needed to die. And then we would all gladly pick up our rocks and stone this woman. But he would have been the one at fault. And in no short time, the Romans would have put him to death. It was illegal for us to put someone to death. And of course, it was a woman. It would lose all of his followers, right? For him to kill a woman in broad daylight. So we'd have him that way. But also, if he decided not to stone her, if he decided that he would be sentimental, that he would be kind and loving and show mercy to this woman, that means he doesn't uphold the law of Moses. So how can anyone take anything he has to say seriously anymore? It was a perfect trap. So us Pharisees, we all grabbed our rocks. We held firmly to these. We were ready to see what it was that he was going to tell us. The end was near. We knew that we had him trapped. But then he did something strange. He bent down, and we thought he's going to pick up a rock. But he started using his finger and drawing in the sand. Writing in the sand. I couldn't see what it was that he wrote. I was trying to see over the crowd, or there were some Pharisees in the way. Some say he might have written out the word kill. Others say that he was writing the words of the Shema in the Old Testament. Or the Testament, as I refer to it as. I don't know what it was that he was writing. He began to write. He stood up once again and he said, "Whoever among you has not sinned, let him be the first to throw a stone at her." I looked around wondering, well, who was it going to be? Was it going to be me? I know I'm not in that category, but maybe he seems to be a wise sin so that they can throw this stone and we can have justice for this sinful wretch before us. Then I heard a sound I'll never forget. Stone dropped. As Pharisee after Pharisee dropped, stone after stone, I began to walk away. I was aghast. No, we needed to have justice done. We needed to hold the law of Moses. And yet, no one was willing to claim that authority, to claim that they were without sin. And they dropped stones one by one. So I turned to leave as well. And as I was walking away, I heard Jesus talking to this woman. And I heard what it was that he had to say. It was just the two of them. He said, "Where are your accusers?" She said, "There are none." He said, "Then neither do I condemn you. Go and leave your life of sin." Leave her life of sin? As if that's possible. To leave someone's life of sin, for someone like that. You can't leave your life of sin without shame, without being brought before the community and derided time after time. You had to pay the price. That was the only way to leave your life of sin. But here was Jesus saying, "I don't condemn you, so leave your life of sin. I'm not against you." In fact, he stood between us and her, interfering with the justice we wanted to pour out on this woman. Could mercy really change someone? Could mercy and grace really cause this woman to leave her life of sin? It made me think of what they write about in Isaiah. This prophecy about the servant to come. It says, a bruised reed I will not break. A smoldering wick he will not snuff out. In his faithfulness he will bring forth justice. Was this woman the bruised reed? Was she the smoldering wick that instead of stoning, Jesus decided to not break, but to bring forth justice in a different way? I wasn't sure, but he caught my attention. I needed to know more about this Jesus. If this is what he was offering, could he offer it to someone else? How could I take part of it? So I began to follow him from a distance, of course. I stayed far away. I wanted to be brought before the Sanhedrin. So I stayed far away. I observed him. And I heard him teaching. And in the courtyard, this is what he said. "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." I am the light of the world. Jesus! You've got to be careful. When you say "I am," that's what God says about himself. He calls himself the I am. People could misunderstand him to be saying that he is the great I am. That could get you in a lot of trouble. He said, "I am the light of the world." I am the light. You could argue with this. I was drawn to him like someone drawn to the light. There was something about him that was pulling the darkness around him in and illuminating. The closer I got to Jesus, the more the darkness went away and I was able to see God more clearly than I had ever seen him before. He was indeed the light of the world. I wanted about that light. I wanted to believe it. And then he went on to explain that he's not from this world, but he comes from above. He says, "You are from below. I'm from above. You are of this world. And I told you that you would die in your sins. If you do not believe that I am he, you will indeed die in your sins." I don't want to die in my sins. I'm not perfect. I have issues. Of course, I honor my mother and father, and there's God. I'm not like one of those tax collectors, but I have sins. I don't want to die. I wanted to believe. I wanted to follow him. And so I did. I began to believe that he was who he said he was, that he came from heaven, that he was, well, perhaps the Messiah. I began to believe in this individual, in this rabbi, in this teacher. Then he looked at us and said, he looked at us who believed. He looked at us who believed in him and he said, if. I thought my belief would be enough. My fellow Pharisees don't believe. I believe it's not enough. But to Jesus, belief wasn't all it took. There was something else that he expected from anyone who claimed to follow him, anyone that wanted to be in him. He said, if you hold to my teaching, then you're really my disciples, then you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. If you hold to my teaching, then you'll know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Free! Free! Free from what? Well, we're Israelites. We haven't been slaves of anyone, except for the Assyrians and the Babylonians and the Egyptians. But we're not slaves currently. It's not like the Romans here that said that. We're not slaves. How can we be free? What is it that we can be free of? But then he went on to explain what it was that we could be free of. He says, anyone who sins is a slave to sin. Now, a slave has no permanent place in the family, but a son belongs to it forever. So if the son sets you free, you will be free indeed. Free. Now, this is something wrong. Freedom. I'm not perfect. I'm not like a man prone to the drink. Not like the merchant in the marketplace cheating his fellow brother. No, I'm not. But I'm not free. I know the truth. I don't care about people. The very people that God has entrusted me to shepherd and to take care of. They're not people, they're tools for my agenda. I was hoping that we would stone this one. Not sure what that was. I was hoping that we would stone. I didn't see a person lying there in front of us. I saw a tool for my agenda. I don't see people. I see what people can do for me. What can I get out of this person? Now, no one knows that. How can anyone see what's in my heart? On the outside, everything's good. Again, I honor my own. Praise God, I'm not criminal of the sack to it. Fine. I think he knew. And that's why he was offering me freedom. I needed this freedom. I longed for this freedom. I had to have this freedom. But the cost was too much. To have freedom, to be free, I had to hold on to his teachings. But to hold on to his teachings means I had to let go of my own. To follow his way, I had to let go of my way. I'm comfortable with my way. In my way, I'm in control. In my way, I call the shots. His way threatens my way. Freedom sounds wonderful, but at what cost? What do I have to let go of? What do I have to get rid of? To follow him? I couldn't let go. Can't let go. His teachings? Really? His teachings are ridiculous. He teaches the people to give up everything to follow him. He teaches people to love without limits. He teaches people to walk in the light. He teaches people to forgive injustice that they have caused. He teaches people to serve the Romans and to love them. And he teaches people to change and give up their way and follow him. If I were to hold on to his teachings, I could lose everything. Lose everything. You see, to hold on to something, you have to let go first. To hold on to his teaching, I had to let go of my teaching. I may not like my way and what it's producing in my life, but at least I know my way. His way, I lose all control. I wasn't going to do it. Couldn't do it. Can't do it. I can't let go. It was challenging me to let go of my way and follow his. Who was he to step into my life and tell me who I needed to be? What gave him the right to tell me who I was called to be? Who gave him the authority to tell me what God wanted from my life? So I didn't like what he had to say, so it must not be true. I didn't want to hear what it was that he had to say, so it's not true. If I can diminish who he was, then I don't have to do what he says. Who was he to call me to change, to challenge my life and try to set me free? I didn't ask for the light. I was perfectly fine in the darkness. Who is this teacher challenging our life? He challenges our legitimacy. He's saying that our father isn't Abraham, our father isn't God. He's calling them illegitimate. Us. He's the master. We've heard about his father and his mother. He's the illegitimate one. He's the one we should have listened to. Abraham was about, you're less than 50 years old. And then he said it, very truly I tell you, before Abraham was born, I am. I thought the heavens would collapse at the sound of that blast. I am. There was no mistaking it this time. He was claiming to be Yahweh. He was claiming to be Emmanuel, God among us. Frankly, could it be true? He was claiming to be around even before Abraham. This couldn't be true. If it was true, if he really was the one we were looking for, how could I hold on to my ways any longer? If he really was who we claimed, I would have to change everything, and I would do it gladly. But there's no way, because that's who he is. At least I don't want to believe that. The cost is too high. I don't like what he says, so it must not be true. I don't like what he's calling me to, so I must diminish his voice. To hold on to his way means I have to let go of mine. So me and my fellow Jews, as we were there, something clicked. A claim he was making as he wrote in the sand. It happened earlier, but we remembered in this moment why he was writing in the sand. It doesn't matter what he was writing. But he was writing in the sand because on the Sabbath, we have a rule. It's not written in your Torah, but we have a rule that we all hold to. And that is that you are not to write with something permanent on the Sabbath. That's too much work. It will last forever. You can only write in the sand with your finger. Because it's here one moment and gone the next. And he's claiming to be the great I am, to look at our lives and to say, this is what's written about you, this is what you're doing wrong, this is what's against you, and now it's gone.
Wow.
Come on. I want that woman and what she did to be written about forever. People must know about the sins, and there must be condemnation. But Jesus was claiming to be the I am, and claiming, yes, it's written, but it's written with fingers in the sand, and it's going to be blown away. As much as I wanted that, I wasn't willing to let go of my life to happen again. I won't hold on to his excuses. I'm holding on to mine. So we've been down in the Pharisee, but we weren't going to write in the sand. We all grabbed our own lives. We put a stop to this teacher. If we couldn't do it by trapping him, we would do it another way. And we got ready to stone him, to bring him down. He was the light, and we were ready to snuff it out. No more light, no more Jesus, no more teaching. Jesus was threatening my way of life, and the only way that I was going to be free was with his blood. The only way that I would be free would be with his blood. I could silence him. We grabbed our rocks and we tried to stone him, but got away. We'll find him, don't you worry. We'll find this man. I'm not going to hold on to his teaching. I'm not willing to let go. What about you? Willing to let go? Is Jesus enough to you? Is the freedom that he's offering enough to your life? To let go of whatever it might be that you're holding on to?